All right, so how you doing? So eating again, another little session of eating. This time what we're going to do is we're going to do a Arab breakfast or Arabic breakfast or Arabi breakfast, whatever you want to say. I love this. Like now, recently I went for a couple of, maybe a month or two ago, for a Kerala breakfast. That was amazing. Some fantastic fish and some masala dosa and things like that. Of course, being a Brit, I love the full Monty, the British breakfast. And I'm a big fan of the Sri Lankan breakfast as well, which I've filmed that before. I mean, you might have seen that video. But yeah, the local breakfast to where I am now in Bahrain, it's very good. It's up there with them. Anyway, let's have a look at what we got. So now this is not everything. There's a few other things that you could add to this, but there's quite a lot going on here. So we've got here some bread. This is a cheese bread. It's got cheese in the middle. Shakshouka, which is eggs, onions, tomatoes and things like that. Very famous. Some dal, like a nice curried dal. Like I think I told you before in the last setup we had of Arab food. There's a lot of Indian influences in the culture here. Some sambusa or samosa, cheese samosa, these ones. I mean, again, you could have different ones, dal, chicken, whatever, but yeah, cheese is quite popular. Over here, we've just got some big old beans here, some big broad beans, some black-eyed peas, just boiled peas. That's quite a common thing. Here I've got chicken liver. Chicken liver, again, it's got some lovely little spices in it. This is meat nashif. Nashif just kind of means like a stew. It's slightly drier than other stews, but yeah, it's like a kind of meat stew. And here we've got chicken nashif. In the center here, I've got balalit. Balalit is a strange thing. I'm not a massive fan of it, to be honest. So you can see we've got a kind of omelette on the top, but underneath there is these noodles. So it's like a vermicelli noodle, but it's cooked with cardamom and sugar. So it's like a dessert in a way. It's like a dessert with an egg on, but you have it for breakfast like that. Fabulous bread. I mean, again, the bread here, the khubz here is amazing. Lovely pair of earrings I've got there. But this is just lovely stuff, really just amazing. Like I said, it's really cheap and made everywhere. Lots of little kind of bakeries doing this stuff. Here I've got haris. The haris is, I think this one, there's a few different types of haris, but this haris I think is like a bulgur or a type of wheat. Can be made in different ways. This has got chicken in it. And yeah, it's really fabulous, really fabulous. So I'm gonna get in and have a go. So look, first of all, let's grab ourselves some bread, which will act as my spoon, and I'm gonna go straight in for the bit of the old shakshouka. Now sometimes you get shakshouka which is made with the mixture, like the onions and the garlic and stuff like that, the cumin and stuff like that, is cooked with the tomatoes, and then just eggs are popped on the top. You just crack eggs on so they cook like that. Or sometimes you get it kind of scrambled like this. Anyway, in I go. Lovely. Just divine. I mean, that really is beautiful. I mean, loads and loads of ways of making shakshouka. And you can kind of basically put what spices you like in. This tastes quite curried, to be honest, this one. And then, again, using the bread as my utensil. Some dal. Now that, immediately, is just Indian. Really delicious. Bit of a sambusa or samosa. I mean, in this part of the world they say sambusa. I think the rest of the world they say samosa. So good. I'm liking that dal quite a lot. Okay. So a bit of the balalit. So just a straight omelette egg. And like I say, underneath this vermicelli, which is got loads of sugar in it and cardamom. I find that quite an acquired taste. I mean, I'm not really into sweet things really. Let's have a bit of the meat nashif, which is, like I said, just like a little kind of stew. It's lamb, by the way, and so kind of Indian, but kind of mild. It's not kind of quite, hard in any way. Now, a bit of a liver, chicken liver. Really, I love this. Big fan of the liver. And yeah, there's beans. Big old sort of fava beans there, or fava beans, and some boiled black-eyed peas, which actually work really well. This is a chicken nashif. So like I said, nashif basically means that it's a stew, but quite a dry thing. It's not very wet. I'll grab a bit more bread. We're gonna have a go at this haris. So this haris is just like a big sort of porridge, but with chicken, like a chicken porridge. Really delicious. I think I made that recently. It's probably, I think there's a video up of that. But yeah, overall, a breakfast like this is just such a treat. I love it. And you'd have this with some tea, karak tea. And again, I think karak tea is only called karak tea in this region, like in the Gulf. I think outside of here it's just called, masala tea. So the tea would be like a strong black tea, lots of hot milk, sugar, usually quite a lot of sugar in there, and again, cooked with some spices, which you can really muck about with. Cardamom being pretty essential, black pepper, you can mix it right up however you want. But this is such a treat for me. I love a local breakfast like this. And I'm sitting at home now, but I was out this morning actually with my boy, and we had one of these. But delicious. I'll leave a link up for a restaurant I went to where I've had breakfast before. It goes into a bit more detail. But yeah, get over to your local Arab type restaurant, whether that be like a Saudi restaurant or whatever, and check out the food, because this is super stuff. I love it. I'm really enjoying it. So in the next one, we better do shawarma. There's a lot of that here, massively popular. Oh, and I really want to do the guzi or the uzi. I'll get that from that woman. That is really amazing. But yeah, what a fabulous little breakfast, which I love so much, which makes me a lucky boy, doesn't it? Now, I hope I've pronounced things okay, because I always cock the names up of stuff. Especially with Arabic. Arabic's not very good for translating into English. And also the accent of everything, I get it really wrong. But just divine. I'm super lucky. Shukran, shukran, shukran. see you soon. Cheers. A bit more liver, I think. What's nice about this liver is they've topped it with pomegranate as well, which is really good.